So
right.
unlike our friend over here, I'm a connoisseur of both Bitcoin and gold. I got some right here. But my question for you is more about so during the pandemic, the top 1% saw their net worth increase by 23% during the pandemic, and while the bottom quintile, how do you say this? Quintile of households.
Yeah.
Of households increased their net worth only by 2.5%. And you tweeted that its price is not wealth that's rising, and people only have more money because the Fed created it. Stocks and real estate are not more valuable, just more expensive, and inflation creates the illusion of wealth. Where do you think that average US household wealth is going in the near term?
Well, real wealth is going to go down. I mean, for the entire nation. I mean, the nation is poorer. I mean, we're working less. We're less productive. People who had jobs are not in the workforce. Look at our trade deficits. They've never been this big. So this shows you that we don't have the industrial capacity to produce the goods that we're consuming. And so we're relying on stronger economies abroad that can produce what we can't. And we're focusing a lot of our resources. You guys will disagree with me, but a lot of the resources that we have, a lot of the manpower, a lot of the creativity is being focused into the cryptocurrency industry, which I think is a complete waste. And so instead of funding industries that actually make us wealthier, we're just blowing our money on what I believe is just a fad. And so we're just going to see all this evaporate. And we're growing government. Government is getting much bigger. We're on the verge of another FDR, LBJ style growth of government, and a much larger government coming at a time when we're broke. When Franklin Roosevelt came up with the New Deal, it was a bad deal, but we at least were rich enough to afford it. We were a wealthy country back then, and we were wealthy, or even wealthier potentially, during the 60s. That was kind of the peak of our real wealth, and we've been going downhill ever since, when we came up with the Great Society programs. But we're broke now because of the New Deal and the Great Society and stuff like that. The country is broke. We used to be the world's biggest creditor. Now we're the world's biggest debtor. We have huge budget deficits and trade deficits. I mean, so we're now adding this huge cost of government to burden an economy that's already broke from having to shoulder the burden of big government in the past. So this is going to make us all collectively even poorer. And so people are going to unfortunately have to deal with a decline in their standard of living that is going to come with this dissipation of wealth.
John, what questions you got?
Yeah, Peter, thanks for doing this. Nice to see you again. So my question is, what does an individual do then, right? I know buy gold, but besides buy gold, what should an individual do to protect their wealth, grow their wealth? Is it stocks, real estate? Is it alternative assets, foreign currencies? Like, what do you suggest without directly giving financial advice without knowing their situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'm doing with my own wealth and with the income that I earn that I don't spend, which is the majority of it, is I'm buying real assets. I mean, I'm buying businesses around the world, generally through publicly traded securities. But these are businesses that I think will do well in the future. They're almost exclusively outside the United States because I think the business climate inside the United States is going to continue to deteriorate, as a result of higher inflation, higher taxes, higher regulation. So I want to stay away from the U.S. And I also think American consumers are not going to be great customers in the future when the dollar is no longer the reserve currency. And so I want to have businesses that have customers that are in better financial shape than Americans are going to be in. So I want to own, those businesses have real assets, plant and equipment, goodwill, whatever they have, and they generate income. They pay me in good dividends. So I own that. I own real estate. I own some properties. I look at buying more property because, again, property is real. I could use it personally. I can vacation in it. I can live in it, or I can rent it out, or whatever I want. It's real, and it takes real resources to construct, and you get the land. So I want to own real stuff. I own some physical gold and silver, just to keep dry powder, because I don't want to own fiat currencies. Because I think that they could, lose a lot of value. Even the currencies I like, I still think will lose value because I only like them relative to other fiat currencies that I like less. But all fiat currencies are going to lose value, right? They all sink at different rates, and they're all going to sink against gold. Now, maybe not every single year, but over a longer time frame, gold is going to be a preserver of purchasing power, much better than a fiat currency. And one of the reasons I don't just go all in on stocks and real estate is because they may get cheaper in terms of gold in the future, and I want to have the dry powder to buy more, right? I don't want to be all in, so that if all of a sudden there's a big drop in something and I don't have any way of profiting from it, or in case I need some money for something at a time when a lot of my stocks are down, and you can't just, sell your real estate at a good price immediately. I want to have something very liquid that's not going to fall very much, that if I need to spend, I have it. And so I'd rather hold physical gold for that than just currency, although I'd still have some dollars. I mean, I'm living in the US, even though I'm in Puerto Rico, so I still have some cash to pay my bills, but I don't want to keep that much in dollars. I mean, not, money that I'm thinking that I might need in a year or 2 years. I mean, that money I don't want to keep in dollars, but stuff I'm going to use, this week, next month. Yeah, I mean, how much is it going to lose in that short a time horizon? Probably not that much, although one day it will lose a lot during that time period. I just don't know when that time period is going to start.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching that clip of The Best Business Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you know when we go live every weekday, and then head to SoFi.com/pomp so that you can get an account and we can get after it.